Hare Krishna, Namaste. Chapter 4, which is entitled as Jnana Yoga, Sloka number 50. Evam jnatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmat tvam purvai purvataram kritam. As we mentioned earlier, Sloka 12 through Sloka 17 are introduction for further coming up sloka starting 18. In the 12th sloka, Krishna mentioned that those who does not follow the Nishkama Karma Yoga method, they will go to the Devatas expecting quick result and get further entangled into enjoying those results. And in the 13th sloka, when Krishna said this is what they do and this is where they will go, then Arjuna felt, well, that's how majority of them. It is very hard to be free from attachment to the results of one's action, and therefore they have to struggle, and there could be no other means or ways for such people to get out. And that's the 13th sloka where it's been asked, and in that sloka, Krishna's response was, no, I'm not going to let things fall off like that. Therefore, I've created this universe, I've created the 4 systems, so people can fit into one of the systems and follow their duty, varnashrama, dharma, and they can also be eligible and will be free from the obstacles that's stopping them to proceed further into the spiritual path. When Arjuna said this in the 13th sloka, then another question raised, that how is that possible that you said you are the creator, you are the cause, and at the same you are not the cause? And responding to that question, on the 14th, Krishna said that I am the cause of the creation, I am the cause of the 4 systems. These are common causes, but I am not the cause for the differences that you see in the world. Rich, poor, learned, uneducated, and so forth. I am not the cause. The cause is one's own karma, and that is explained in the 14th sloka. And the 15th sloka, what we are going to see, Krishna supports his statement that he said so far by giving some references. And the 16th sloka, it said even great scholars are pretty confused with what is the right thing to do, because there's karma yoga, there's karma, karma bhaha, jnana, jnana bhaha, jnana yoga. What is jnana within karma? What is karma within jnana? Well, they are also confused. And in the 17th, Krishna says the reason for confusion is there are karma, there is akarma, that's called vikarma. So many aspects are there. So we will see starting from 15 sloka. But as we said, these are all an introduction for the 18th and upcoming slokas. So in this sloka, evam jnatva kritam karma purvair api mumukshubhihi. Evam Jnatva. As it has been said earlier, this is addressing to Krishna, Jnatva, and also as it said earlier, for as this chapter started, the sun god and so forth. Jnatva, knowing, Mumukshubhihi, those who have been aspiring for liberation, they also took Kritam, they also took this path, Nishkama Karma Yoga. Tasmat, therefore, since it has been performed by even the great Purvair Kritam, performed by the forefather, Purvattaram, it is not something new that you are hearing today. It's been existing even on the ancient days. Karmaeva, only Karma Yoga. Tvam, you take up. Tvam means addressing to Arjuna, you. Kuru, undertake or do. That is, many of our ancient leaders, forefathers, Raja Rishis, who aspired for liberation, Jnatva, knew, as I explained to you. What is it he explained to Arjuna? We'll see. But this is the style that usually Krishna has. Krishna's style is, he says something, but he always gives references to support what he said. It's like, people write research papers. So the research paper writing article is one thing, the content, but then there should be references to support their statement within the research work. So it's all coming from Krishna. If you read Bhagavad Gita, we'll see this. Many places Krishna always uses this method. He says something and then he says this is supported by this. And also he has another style that he praises if someone is accepting his path, and of course he blasphemes, criticizes those who does not accept the path that he recommends. So these three things we can see throughout Bhagavad Gita, that references, appreciation, and then criticism on those who are not following. So here, many have followed in the past the way that I have explained. What is it? He has explained that Krishna is the main creator, author for the creation, maintenance, annihilation, so forth. And the differences occur on account of the karma of the individual selves. I do not cause these differences. This is understanding that they all had. By having such understanding and performing their karma, they were freed from the sins, those sins which were inimical, obstacle to perform the Karma Yoga. That's a key important point here. In the same manner, knowing me as the agent and still not an agent, getting rid of your sin, you also undertake this ancient Karma Yoga. That is Nishkama Karma Yoga or Karma Yoga in Krishna consciousness, as performed by many in the past like Vivaswan, Manu and others. So this path is beneficial for any kind of people, whether the person is polluted or a person is interested in spiritual progress. So a person who is polluted by taking up this method of Krishna consciousness, Karma Yoga and Krishna consciousness, get gradually cleansed. And those who are already cleansed of impurity, it is clear that they can easily progress further, rapidly progress further. So again, the main point in this sloka is that Krishna says he is following, or whatever he is saying is also followed by the great personalities in the past. And not only that, this is all Sastric, means these are all given in the Shastra. Because it is very important to understand for us that two things. One is, whatever we practice in our life towards moksha, spirituality, those things has to be supported in the Shastra. Number two, whatever we are practicing now, that has to be recommended and also practiced by our seniors, a living senior or lived senior in the past. And there could be a situation where people are following certain things of what the seniors or the forefathers or others have done in past. But what the others have done in past, if it is not supported by Shastra, then that has to be rejected. So it's very important we have this clear picture in our mind. Similarly, those practices done by the great personality in the past, that has to be in the Shastra. If those things are not in the Shastra, then those Shastra also has to be rejected. It's a very important point. So both are very important. What is there in the Shastra has to be practiced by us, and what we practice should be in the Shastra. But when we talk about Shastra, these are Dharma Shastra given by the Lord Himself, the Vedas, the Itihasas and Puranas. These are the Shastras that we are talking. Otherwise, people might simply come up with a book written in hundreds and thousands of slokas in Sanskrit and call them as Shastra, or in any language. They write something and call that as a Shastra, and they start propagating and teaching those things is not recommended. That is not what we are talking here as Shastra. Shastras are eternal. Those are the Shastras should be practiced, and that is practice should be in the Shastra. So this should be very clear in our understanding as we go forward, because there's going to be a chapter dedicated later in Bhagavad Gita for those who follows the Shastra, for those who doesn't follow the Shastra. We will see when we get there. So on this sloka 15th, this has been explained that what Krishna said is supported in the Shastra, and that's a practice done by the many people in the past. Evam nyatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvais purvataram kritam. Namaste. Hare Krishna.